Besides Dr. Jane, I want to tell you my first kind of experience with toxicity. And that was my first job when I went into teaching in a small private college. And this person was very, very demeaning, very disorganized, didn't show up for classes, didn't follow through with students, and was very, really kind of mean and to me. And so it wasn't very long before we sort of clashed, because I think I have a good work ethic and he had zero work ethic. And so it wasn't long before we were sort of at odds with one another. And he kind of came at me in our little cubicle, was yelling at me, raising his voice, all of those sorts of things. And, it wasn't anything unusual. It was sort of kind of par for the course. It is how things had gone. And my sister passed away, so I went on bereavement leave. And when I came back after that leave, the provost of our college called me into his office and basically said this guy had accused me, and there was a whole list of things. Okay. Well, those were none of the things that I had done, but those were all of the things that he had done to me. But he did it and reported me when I was out for bereavement leave. So of course, that's kind of a classic toxic bully kind of person, is they want to make sure that when they're sticking the knife in your back, that it hurts particularly, it's particularly painful. And so we were called in. We had a meeting. Again, a standard operating procedure is the provost was there and this guy and myself was there. And in retrospect, it's very, very interesting for me now to look back on that, because what happened in that meeting is I was just sitting there. I was a little nervous, but I had tried to prepare for it. I had all my documentation and my ducks in a row. And this person sort of lost it. He started yelling at me, accusing me of things. And thankfully, the provost had a lot of skills, was a highly skilled professional, and he cut this guy off and asked me to leave. And what they ended up doing is asking this guy to take an early retirement. And really, in the hindsight, that is the only time in 20 years of workplace bullying and toxicity where administration actually intervened and got rid of the person who was problematic. And the reason that happened isn't because I had my ducks in a row and I showed them all my documentation. It's because that person lost his cool in front of the provost, and the provost had some skills and could see the writing on the wall. But it's the only time administration ever intervened while I was still there to take care of a toxic person and to stop bully culture.